Hi, I'm Alex. I am a professional product designer, so I design physical products as a day job. This YouTube channel is all about going behind the scenes and taking a look at what it takes to go from an idea right through to a finished product design. This is the first video of this YouTube series, so let's get into it. This first video is about designing an accessory for this classic design, which is the bialetti stovetop coffee pot. We'll go into everything from the initial idea to writing a design brief to sketching the idea, going into 3D CAD, prototyping it, and right at the end of the video I'll show you something that I do that's a little bit extra. That is quite a big opportunity, I think, if you're in the product design space. So let's go. There's a few benefits just generally to writing down a design brief. Even if you're an independent designer, sometimes it's great just to write down in words a few key points. What do you think is going to be great about this product? And then you've got your set targets of what you're going to go out and achieve. So let's get into this design brief. What was the design problem we wanted to solve? Well, it was pretty simple. Effectively, every time that I go and fill up this thing, I spill coffee grounds all over my surface. So it's a really simple design problem. How can I design something that fits with this, that matches some of the aesthetics and is quite compact so it fits in the cupboard, doesn't take up too much room. And that's it. So once we've agreed the design brief, we can then move on to the next stage, which is the design process. So when I first started working as a young designer, one of my managers told me, before you jump into 3D CAD, you always should know roughly what it's going to look like. You should be able to visualize it, and you should be able to understand what is it that you're trying to build. So this is why sketching is really helpful for this. So this is what I've been doing here. I've been just trying to sketch the original bialetti base, just to understand the lines and the shapes that they used in the original design, and roughly understand how my accessory is going to work. So now we jump into 3D modeling. This is the Fusion 360 workspace. It's a really cheap, easy to use piece of software. I've been using it for the last 6 years now, but I have used SolidWorks in my time, NX Ideas, and a load of other different types of software. But I find Fusion really easy to use and super cheap, which is great. So that's the first thing I did. I took the bialetti design, I measured it up, and I remade it in Fusion 360. Because I've already got the bialetti into my CAD software, designing the accessory really didn't take that much time. I knew roughly how big it was going to be, so I just did a simple funnel shape, and then I took away the flat sections just to try and mimic the original bialetti design as much as possible. Then designing the tampo was pretty straightforward. I had a bit of trouble with the handle itself, but generally this was quite a quick process. It took around half an hour to 45 minutes to design the accessory for the first iteration. So the first time you get your 3D prototype in your hand, you will learn a lot immediately. The first thing you'll realise is you've probably done the thing either too big or too small. Scale is really difficult to gauge in 3D CAD. So when I first printed this, I realised actually this is way too big. It doesn't need to be that big. You're not going to spill coffee grounds around here. So what I'll typically do is I'll take off my designer hat and put on my I'm a customer, I've never seen this thing before, and I'll just try and use it like I have no knowledge of the design or the product at all. And the idea is that I'll make notes of things that I want to change and things that I want to improve for the next design iteration. The second time I designed this, I was trying to fix this handle because I just really wasn't happy with how it was working. Just this shape and how it intersects with all the geometry just looked a bit dodgy to me, so I wanted to fix it. And then the other thing that I really didn't like was just how difficult it was to use. It was very tight. So the third time I tried to make this work by smoothing it out, still wasn't happy. but I had fixed how smoothly it works, and it just fit the bialetti a lot better. For the final design iteration, I had got something on this handle that I think actually works now with the shape and with the profile of this accessory. It's a lot more compact, works really smooth. So there, we got there in the end. It took 4 design cycles to get there. Obviously, for a much more complicated product, you'll have a lot more design cycles. For this simple one, it just took 4 design cycles to get to a final design. So at the start of this video, I said I would tell you an opportunity that I think a lot of brands out there today have, and that is something that often they overlook, which is how brilliant packaging can be. I absolutely love good packaging, and I always think it's a really good opportunity to kind of tell a story to the customer and think about, from their point of view, they bought a product. The first thing that they come across is the box through the door. So if it's really nicely presented and it's teaching them about the product as they're opening it, and really kind of doing this in an engaging way, they're just going to like the product even more, and therefore like the brand as well. And you might have noticed at one point in the video this coffee cup. So that's actually made from recycled coffee waste. And I thought it was a really cool idea, and something that if this product would ever make it into the marketplace, that you would use the same technology. So I wanted to put that on the front of the packaging too. So there you have it. That's the whistle stop tour on each stage of the design process to get to a point where you have a product design ready to commercialize. Obviously, we haven't touched on all of the fun bits like going into production, talking to suppliers, everything like that. This is just on the design side. This is video 1. If you're still watching, that is unbelievable. And if you could just drop a comment on which part you liked, which part you didn't like, that would be an amazing help to me. I'm trying to get better, obviously, at documenting this whole thing. I've learned a lot through this process, and I'm excited for the next design challenge. So we'll see you on the next one.